To Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell. I'm here with my great co-host, Hannah.
Hello, people.
Hannah, let's tell the viewers and the listeners what they should do.
Could you pretty please leave a like and subscribe to our channel?
Subscribe.
Leave a comment down below your feedback on the show, your thoughts, questions, comments, queries, all that jazz.
Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one, including What's Next, the show where we help you figure out what to watch next. Today, we have to do an emergency movie news because we need to talk about what happened in The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. And then tomorrow will be AFI Top 100. Let's get straight into it. We will interrupt regular programming. We're bringing it back. It's Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. Okay, if you haven't seen it, skip ahead. You can catch up with Hannah's movie news soon. And then we'll do some clickbait.
Yes.
But let's talk about it, alright?
What
an episode.
Oh, this is one of the best episodes of television. This is such a well done episode. So, what we find is that Ellie and Joel have kind of made amends. Weirdly
But
enough,
not?
we don't know for sure because there seems to be a missing piece to the puzzle. But Joel's gone out on patrol with Dina. And Ellie's gone out.
She goes out a little bit later.
Yeah, she goes out later with Jeremy, I believe.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there seems to be some sort of storm that is happening. You know, we're trying to batten down the hatches. You know, there's something big could happen.
Yeah.
You know, the whole town's having a meeting about it. And then we find Abby and her friends have a lodge, and they're safe.
They're overlooking, and they're worried because they look at the town.
There's a town, and Joel could be anywhere, and it's fortified.
But no, it's so big. There's so hard to get into.
So let's just say nature takes its course here. Because
Abby goes out on patrol.
Abby goes out on patrol. Maybe she can, you know, coerce someone into telling her.
Well, she sees two people riding, and so she thinks it's the perfect to kidnap two people. But she falls down the ravine.
Yes. So she gets trapped. You have
Look at those walkers that were talkers. Remember how they were hiding last week?
Yeah, now we've discovered that they're using dead walkers, dead clickers as warmth, and actually shielding
like in
themselves.
hibernation.
Yeah, it's like some.
And then they come out of nowhere and just attack Abby. Yeah. And guess who saves her?
Oh, Joel.
Joel,
my man.
So Joel and Dina, they're going to ride back to town, and then Abby goes, no, let's go to the lodge.
The storm is coming, and it's really.
But
bad.
then Joel sees that the town's getting attacked, and it's getting attacked
because he knows he has to get back. But
it's like a million walkers.
So he's going to go with them.
Clickers.
And then we're all going to go together. Basically, that's his thought. And then you have Ellie now finding out that Joel's patrol is missing,
and Dina, yeah.
And so now
that's her girl and her father,
her padre.
Yeah.
And then the town, because seems to be this mass of clickers and everything coming down from the mountains, because you know it's basically an avalanche of them, and they start to go for the town, and it's the most intense battle sequence. It's up there with I don't want to be it's up there with the Battle of Castamere in season 2 of Game of Thrones, but we're talking about that level of detail and the way they all attack and everything, and you actually care about these people in this town. They do change in the game. Tommy is actually on patrol with Joel, and they don't have this town thing, even though we know that
Dina
this happens a lot.
is with Joel.
And so you have this swap, and it works so well because the town being attacked with Tommy and then being the last line of defense.
Yeah, it actually does really work.
There's the whole bit with the flamethrower and
with the bloater. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's really well
so
done.
Intense.
It's
it helps break it because you're worried about the town, and then you know something bad's going to happen to Joel.
Well, if anyone's ever played the game, knows
he's in the clutches of Abby.
Yeah.
Who just wants one thing.
And so Abby, they give Dina a drug, so she passes out, and then Joel goes, "Get it over with," because he knows what's happening, because he knows who it is.
She wants to make it.
And then she just, and then even her friends go, you know,
they don't like that she's doing this, but they know they.
But Ellie comes upon him and sees it, and finally you see
tries to stop it, but no,
she can't.
Abby is equipped with a golfing club, as you said, a 9-9.
A 9-9. Yeah, good choice.
For beating someone senseless.
Yeah.
And then
I wouldn't have gone the graphite shaft. I probably would have gone a steel shaft.
yeah,
But, you know,
you have
beggars
what you
come
have,
choosers.
yeah.
Yeah. When you see those golf clubs, you go, oh, they're not good. They're not good. We're in a ski resort here. Like, why have we got golf clubs?
it's almost more harrowing than it
Yeah.
was in the game. It was more shocking.
Oh, it was so well done.
Yeah, and it's so well done because you have the town thing, and it completely you're sucked into two actual storylines.
I think we mentioned this last week, but the choice of Caitlin Diva is to try and match the physicality of Bella Ramsey.
Think that's when you said that. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. It is questionable because if you know, like the
Well, she's bulky.
physique in
Yeah.
the game is like she's like a monster basically.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be that because you're like, how could Ellie even fight? something
Yeah,
like that?
but I really do think
Like,
that
she's a really good actress.
Great actress.
That's the thing.
this episode is so well made. It's directed by Mike Millard. You might know him from Succession. You also might know him from the Menu. He's really good in this. He's done a really good job with his directing. This episode is really well written. The special effects and the makeup, what they prosthetic
portray
they put
him.
on Joel.
Yeah, and
Because he absolutely gets
even
beaten with that nine
how
iron.
all the you see all the different clickers and everything, they're all differently.
The,
and
the
there's
only
snow and
the only one thing that I think the nine iron thing missed was
The
like the
nine iron.
dripping blood off the nine iron because he's absolutely like just
Well,
beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
And then like
I think that, yeah,
Ellie
it's
saying,
not
"Get
like-
up, Joel! Get up, Joel!" Like, oh man, I was like shaking while watching this. I was like, we hadn't seen it because I was away, and then I came back and said, "Okay, let's watch this together." And then we watched it, and then I was just like, I was like,
Yeah.
This episode's already.
even-
I couldn't believe it. Like I knew it was coming, but I couldn't believe that it was
Happens-
episode 2.
I believe it happens in the first hour of the game. Yeah, no, it happens that quickly. That's how it's supposed to happen.
But
It's the
like we
most
get.
shocking
Did you
thing
think after
to-
last week how they set it up, we were going to get that episode this week?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because
I
it
didn't
should
know
have been
that.
the first episode.
Wow.
They dragged the first episode
Yeah,
out.
I love the first
Just-
episode.
No,
we
but-
talked about how much we loved it.
No, it's great. It's just that they drag it out because again, you get this scene and it's
Yeah.
whoa. I think it's going to be interesting. They're going because there is a lot of playing with time. It's
Yep.
always been about the game.
There's
So
going to be a lot of flashbacks, isn't there?
they even added a new scene with like the Abby scene where she's like battling with herself
Yeah.
when after discovering the hospital scene, and they're going to keep adding. We're going to see flashbacks and
Have you
moments.
seen?
in
Have you
time.
seen some of the fan edits with them playing the video game and after watching the episode, and then Joel killing the Doctor over and over and over and over and over again?
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
it.
it's
every time.
unbelievable.
Yeah, well, because when you play the game, you have an option whether you can shoot everyone in the room. Babe, I do it.
Yeah.
No survivors. No
Love
survivors.
Okay. This season is just great television. It's going to be interesting.
Yes,
It's going to be
it
really
is one
interesting
of the most controversial
because
stories
because
to
the,
take because
the,
some people don't
the
love.
anchor of the first season was Pedro Pascal,
I think
and he's gone.
I think
So number
he
one,
was still the anchor in the first.
number
episode.
one on the call sheet now is Bella Ramsey. Can she hold it together?
Honestly, yeah.
Can
and,
she?
And I think I don't know how much they're going to put of him in the show, but Tommy is also does
Yeah.
play a role. So brother Tommy.
Because the guy that plays Tommy,
Tommy!
he's the guy that does the voice. Is that correct?
Remember, if that's correct.
Okay.
I'd have to recheck.
Alright.
I know someone else in the show from that season does play the same.
Wow.
Both.
Okay.
But I can't remember.
Well, loving The Last of Us season 2, even though it was one of the most harrowing things I've ever seen, but you know,
Let's go back to Game of Thrones.
look forward to catching up next week with episode 3.
Yeah.
Let's go to my favourite segment, Hannah and movie news.
Welcome back to Movie News. This week, it's time to crunch some numbers with our favorite forensic accountant, played by Ben Affleck. It's called The Accountant 2. And he now has to team up with his estranged criminal brother to take down assassins. It's dance time. This week, loosely based off the popular video game, comes Until Dawn. This movie gives me Groundhog Day meets Friday the 13th, in a sense that a group of kids, after the disappearance of one of their friends, travel after a year to this abandoned visitor center. They get taken out one by one, but wake up the next day and have to try and, I guess, survive. until the 13 days are up. They have to survive. Of course, till dawn. That is what we're going to be seeing this week. Leave a comment down below what you'll be seeing. Until next week, bye.
Thanks, Hannah. Big week for us. We're big fans of The Accountant.
Oh,
And we get to see The Accountant too.
I want to crunch some numbers.
I love it. And then the other one, the other movie we're going to be watching?
I think we have to wait till dawn.
Wow.
Until
Huge.
dawn.
Wow.
Which completely is. When you talk about video game adaptations,
Wow.
that one's completely taking a left turn.
Huge for us. Let us go to clickbait.
Ooh.
And Hannah, do you have some clickbait for us
I
this
do.
week?
I do.
What's your clickbait?
Sinners was a phenomenal film. And you know, there are many reasons why. Yes, I know you want to bring up Sinners all over again. However, vampires.
Yeah.
I believe people are starting. We got two like big vampire movies recently, back to back. 'Cause we also
Nosferatu?
had Nosferatu.
For sure.
I mean, it's a bit different take of vampires, but of course. However,
Great movie.
Can we bring these back? The vampire movies are probably your best monster,
Yeah.
also romance movies of all time. I think
Cool.
that we're talking about. I think you need to watch vampire movies in your lifetime.
Yeah. They're great fun.
They are on like a trash heap of like great cinema.
Yeah. And it's
But
also
they're so important.
it's all like we said it yesterday in What's Next, where we said, you know, when they're doing the rules of vampires, when they're
Yeah, the cheesiness.
accusing each other of being a vampire.
Vampires are so cheesy, but you can
Love
make
it.
it high class. Sinners show us you can make it high class. But some of our favorite vampire movies probably are not. Interview with a Vampire dips in whether it's being high class
Do you know
or lowbrow.
where Sinners ends?
Yeah.
Where Interview with a Vampire starts? Can we get a crossover? Like could be Jordan
No,
and
Anne
Lestat?
Rice- Anne Rice would never allow that to happen. But also you need to, like, movies like Twilight showed how popular vampires can be.
Yeah.
Like,
but-
just straight up. Because we're talking about that time period. You had Twilight, you had the True Blood, you had Vampire Diaries.
we did, yeah.
And then, like, Vampire Diaries also got...
Off the Buffy and Angel.
like the OGs, you have your
Yeah.
Buffy and Angel, but,
Yeah.
you know, we're pro-vampires here.
We're pro.
I'm saying that vampires are like everyone loves them.
Do you know,
Why don't we get enough of those movies?
Do you know Eddie Murphy made a vampire movie called Vampire in Brooklyn?
I think I've heard of this movie.
It's actually quite funny.
But that's what I'm saying.
People like didn't like it, but I liked it. Dracula, you haven't mentioned Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
six
off
hundred-
Dracula, you get Van Helsing,
Or you get stuff like Dust Till Dawn.
Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, that wasn't good. That wasn't good.
No, but like, you know,
They had a great idea,
Yeah.
which was then utilized in Nosferatu. But
love that
however,
guy.
that's what I'm saying. Vampires, they just do better than most monsters.
do you know like Leslie Nielsen? You know, like did all
Yes,
the
yes,
spoof
yes.
movies, like did Scary Movie and
Yeah.
do that. He also did a Dracula one,
Oh my god.
and it was called
Oh
Dracula,
my God.
Dead and Loving It.
Perfect.
That's what.
We don't get those movies anymore. We don't get enough vampire comedies.
Yeah.
I need my vampire comedy, vampire romance, vampire thriller,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
drama.
And speaking of another vampire movie,
Yeah.
Blade.
Oh, Blade. I mean,
Well,
will
isn't
we
that
ever see Blade again?
Nope.
Nope. There's only ever going to be one Blade. I
Yeah.
think that's true.
I think that's true.
Even, like, I think there's... supposed to be-
Mahershala Ali's given up.
Yeah, I
He's
think
given
everyone
up.
has. Unfortunately, yeah, but I'm just saying, vampires are so crucial,
Yep.
and I think they're so important.
Where does Sinners sit on your all-time list of?
That's what I'm saying. Sinners is, again, it's high-class vampire. So it does, kind of rank up above a few others. But
highfalutin.
I think it goes in the, Mount Rushmore of, like, important vampire movies. You got to put that movie there. So your Mount Rushmore of vampire movies.
Okay, go.
Let's put Sinners there, even though it shouldn't be there.
No, it's there. What
Let's
are you
put
talking
Sinners
about?
there.
What are you talking about?
Let's put Sinners there.
Yeah.
Let's put the original Nosferatu there, because I think you need the backbone,
Not only did that
the backbone of society.
start monster movies, but it also it was a great forward in
Groundbreaking.
cinema. Great.
And the story behind it, everything. It's
Amazing.
important. You need it. Unfortunately, Twilight has to be there.
Only the first one.
Yeah, but
You can't put the
I love
series
the
because
entire
it
series.
falls off the cliff after the first one.
Oh, it's still great though.
No, it's still great, but like it falls asleep. And what's your fourth?
I think fourth I think because even though I wasn't around when it was a big cultural moment, and I do think, it's not perfect, I have to go probably with Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, Hannah,
Just
if
how-
you didn't put Interview with a Vampire,
I
I,
knew-
would have been so disappointed in
Oh,
you.
because I was toying
I took you to see that movie.
Yeah, I was toying between Interview with the Vampire and something else. I can't remember. But
Dracula,
no, not Dracula. Not Dracula.
Blade.
Not Blade. No, I was thinking more... No, I was thinking of something else. But
Dust to Dawn.
yeah, Dust to Dawn. But I think Interview with the Vampire was, again, similar to Twilight, a cultural moment
Mm-hmm.
at its time. And I think, even though What We Do in the Shadows, that's what I was thinking, could have taken its spot.
Yeah, that's
But I
good comedy.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to Interview with the Vampire because...
I was so...
Yeah.
I've been
gotta
proud
admit
of
it.
you for many reasons, but when you got out of that movie, Interview with the Vampire, and
I
you went to
loved
me...
it.
I love that movie.
I don't even like...
I was so proud.
I was
so proud.
worried
So
going
proud.
into it because I was like, I don't know if I love Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And then watching that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I want some more.
yeah. So I'm going to put Sinners there. It's the New Boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put, Nosferatu, the original. I will put Twilight because it was a cultural
Mm-hmm.
moment. And Interview with the Vampire.
Well, controversial Mount Rushmore there from Hannah.
Oh, 100%.
Let us know your Mount Rushmore. You can,
Of vampire movies.
you can catch us on Pete and Hannah's watchlist at
Criticize
gmail.com.
me all you want. Twilight does deserve
Criticize
to be
away.
in there. Right. It does.
That is it for today's episode. Thank you to my lovely co-host Hannah for emergency movie news. We have to skip it ahead to this week because of that.
That
great
episode was...
last. It affected me.
infected.
Next week.
Stay away.